Mike Haley.
Alright everybody, Mike Haley, coach of the Toronto Torterras here. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but it has been quite some time since you guys have seen me. Unlike the last big break I took from posting, this one wasn't actually planned. I just hit a very big, busy patch in my life, but I am back now. The Torterras and I were personally invited to moderate and play in the first ever season of the Suave Society Draft League. I'm sure most of you know, but Suave is another Pokemon content creator who is new to draft and decided to host his own league in his Discord server. The rules for the league are pretty simple. It's just a standard Terra preview Gen 9 Nat Dex draft. Each team has 110 points to build a team of 9 to 11 Pokemon, with 3 of those Pokemon being your Terra captains. Most Pokemon, even high tiers, are capable of Terra, but it may affect their cost. An example of this is something like Annihilate normally costs you 12 points, but if you want it to be a Terra captain, it would now cost you 15 points. The limit for this being only 28 of your total points can be allocated to Terra captains. Going into the draft, I initially was eyeing Roaring Moon since I've never used it this generation, but to my surprise, one of the top tier Mons was still on the board that I wasn't expecting to see, Terapagos. A quick little side story. Back in 2023, when we first got the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, I initially saw Terapagos' 600 BST, its incredibly deep move pool, and I called it a glorified Rapid Spinner. I want to apologize. Terapagos' ability Terra Shell makes it a really good endgame sweeper. It can easily take a hit, set up Calm Minds, and attack with literally any move you could think of and easily snowball a game. Those of you who watch the channel know back in Season 6 of the ETA, Pecharunt was an unsung hero of the team. It ended up winning Defensive Mon of the season, claiming 6 passive kills with 8 in total, so it makes sense that at some point we'd reunite. With Terapagos' only weakness being fighting and offering great physical bulk for top tier threats, it was an easy decision to add him to the team. The third round is kind of where you saw a lot of people taking advantage of the league's Terra rules. You started to see people take things like Terra Annihilate, Terra Metagross, Terra Ceruledge. We took Terra Torterra. Getting Torterra was always in my cards, but it was never really the plan to get it this early. I was just at work when my pick was about to come up, and with no time to really look at the board, I kind of just left it as my pick and said, fuck it, we ball. If we want Torterra to succeed, he's gonna need bulky support around him to wall big threats. Pecharunt was that first wall, so we needed something that could pair well with it. And in my mind, Mandibuzz was the perfect fit for this. They complement each other very well, covering for each other's weaknesses. Mandibuzz's great bulk allows it to be a physical or a special wall. It also offers us another form of hazard control with defog and has access to slow U-turns, so we can bring out some of our big hitters. In the 5th round, I went ahead and I picked up Keldeo. I've never personally used Keldeo before, but it filled some holes we were missing. It gave us a water type, a Pokemon that was over 100 base speed, and it has good stab priority in the form of Vacuum Wave. It can make for a good Choice Specs user or a Choice Scarf user, and with its natural bulk, it can also be a really strong Calm Mind sweeper. Guess what? 3rd Gen 5 Pokemon in a row. No. That was not on purpose. Our second Terra captain is going to be Hydreigon. It's an incredibly powerful special attacker with its base 125 special attack stat. It has access to Nasty Plot and has great coverage moves like Earth Power or Flash Cannon to hit Steel and Fairy types we'd otherwise struggle to hit. Adding Terra to all of that just makes it that much better. Being able to now defensively take hits we otherwise couldn't, or just having our coverage moves hit that much harder. It's not that much of a hot take, but I personally think that Rotom-Heat and Rotom-Wash are fantastic Pokemon, so when I saw Rotom-Heat was still on the board, I just had to take it. Although they lost defog this generation, I still believe that they can bring a lot to the table. Rotom can be used as a bulky pivot mon, it's a good Choice Scarf lead with Trick, or it can even be a threat on its own with Nasty Plot and Thunderbolt and Overheat. Going into round 8, my plan was to either get Jirachi or Tinkaton. I got neither. I ended up getting Whimsicott, but thanks to the power of Arceus above, Tinkaton was actually dropped in Grace, so we were able to secure. So Whimsicott, thanks for everything, but get the hell out of here. When it comes to support mons, Tinkaton is that bitch. She's got everything you could want: Encore, Knockoff, Thunderwave, Stealth Rocks. Plus the typing of Steel and Fairy is perfect and it pairs well with a lot of the Pokemon on our team. Round 9 was another round we ended up getting sniped. I wanted Iron Boulder, but we ended up with we have Iron Boulder at home. Lycanroc-Dusk is a Pokemon. We needed another Pokemon around 110 base speed and another physical attacker, so this is what we could work with at that time. While it does have poor defenses, it does hit very hard thanks to its ability Tough Claws, and it has good coverage in close combat to hit steel types it otherwise can't really touch. There was only 2 rounds left in the draft, and at this point I kind of wanted to cover any glaring issues I noticed. The first one I noticed it was even with Pecharunt, the team still kind of struggled to deal with fighting types. so I thought maybe a Psychic type would be a good fit. We also still had 13 points to spend on a third Terra Captain, and there just so happened to be a Psychic type Pokemon worth 13 points. And there just so happened to be a Psychic type worth 13 points left on the board. Necrozma. Necrozma is a bulky mixed attacker with lots of different setup options like Calm Mind, Dragon Dance, and Swords Dance. It gets recovery in the form of Morning Sun and Moonlight, and with Terra, we can have coverage for whatever we need it to have. The last Pokemon I ended up taking was Quagsire. Keldeo and Torterra were our water and ground types, and while they do have good natural bulk, they aren't necessarily the defensive type of Pokemon. Unaware support is also nice as well, with a lot of Gen 9 Pokemon being powerful setup mons. Quag did lose Scald this generation, but it was still able to keep Toxic, and it now has every hazard in the game, which is a very nice addition. These are your Toronto Torterras for Season 1 of the Suave Society Draft League. I'm very excited to be posting again, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you for Week 1 next week.